Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and we're going to be jumping straight into Theta and TFuel today, talking about this massive decrease we continue to see, and talking about, is it going to ever rise back up, or when's this happening? Well, I'll tell you a couple things. It's definitely rising back up. If we go to the actual website itself, we're going to take a look at the biggest factor right away, and that's going to be 79 days, 4 hours away. I'd say in about 60 days, at the very least, we're going to see a $15 Theta, and we'll go in more to our price predictions here in just a second. But before we do so, I do want to take a look more at the price chart itself. And I also want to say, guys, I am not a financial advisor. I'll never give financial advice, so always do your own research before investing. So in the last month alone, we do have a 71% increase, so you have to be fairly happy with that. Unfortunately, if you bought in at this high spot, you're going to see, quite a correction or decline going into the rest of April. Let's hopefully make that up for, at least a little bit by the end of April, hopefully getting to that $14 to $15 mark. Like I said, we'll talk about price predictions here in a second. But if we take a look at TFuel as well, TFuel right now at that 35 cents. We take a look at the last week, a 15% decrease. However, if you look at the last month, still a decrease, 2.82%. This shows that this is still an undervalued coin, because when TFuel, TFuel back March 15th, it was at that 33-cent range. Back for Theta, March 13th, we saw Theta at about, 684? So we're seeing a massive increase from Theta, March 13th, but TFuel could still be very, very undervalued, and I want everyone to realize that. TFuel may be one of the most undervalued coins right now in the market. Beware. Obviously, I'm not going to say go out there and buy TFuel. Use money that you actually can lose too as well. But TFuel, I don't think you're going to lose it, unfortunately, for everybody that is naysaying TFuel in Theta. These are both coins that are going to dominate the market here in the rest of 2021. I really do believe that after about 2-3 months from now, we're going to see TFuel and Theta, just increasing at just crazy rates, and we'll continue to monitor that within the next couple years. So right now, if we take a look at the year span, Theta did a 14,000, almost 15,000% increase in the last year alone, going from obviously pretty much nothing to something very, very quickly with that $12 mark. If we go over the stats real quick, we do have the market cap at about $12 billion, the volume in the last 24 hours being that 263.4 million, and the circulating supply being that 1 billion Theta. If we take a look at the fuel, we do see a 1.8 billion market cap, as well as the volume in the last 24 hours being that 38.5 million, and the circulating supply being that 5.3 billion TFuel. So there's a massive amount of potential behind these two coins, and we're going to jump straight into the actual website itself and talk more about the most recent news, as well as what they have to offer itself. So Theta is obviously the next generation video delivery powered by you. If you didn't know already, they do have that mainnet 3.0 introducing TFuel staking and uptime mining. It is introduced in 79 days, 4 hours. So if you also didn't know, that's what this dip is all about. So we actually had our, not this one, but this dip where we had our all-time high of about $14.99. We dipped back down after the delay was announced. Obviously, anytime a delay is announced, a lot of people jump ship because they are looking for those short-term gains, and this wasn't going to be a short-term gain anymore. So, jumping back into the Theta website, they do have hot off the press World Poker Tour and Theta Network to launch world's first real-time NFT marketplace. This is massive as well. It's going to be big. I think Theta is going to continue to do big things. Obviously, we go farther down. We see live partners, including THETA TFUEL, Samsung VR, and G Fuel. I know a lot of you guys are asking as well as I go through this page. You always talk about Theta and you always talk about TFuel. Why is that? So I do want to stress. I guess I can't stress this enough, actually. Let's refresh Theta. It's because Theta is at a price point that will not be seen again for a long, long time, in my opinion, or if ever. I don't think this will ever be seen again. I don't think we'll ever break below $12 going into May. May will be the last chance you'll ever see. I mean, I don't think you'll ever see it go below $12 in May. I think this will literally be one of the last chances you get below that $12 mark. Going into May, we're going to see Theta definitely do much, much bigger things. Obviously, going into any month after May, you're going to continue to see Theta increase. And that's why I'm telling you guys about this decrease right now. $11.97 is quite a steal, and it could continue to go down for a little bit longer. And because of that, you're getting, like I said, a very, very good price point. So it's a good time if you're looking for a coin to invest in. Definitely do your own research, and then maybe if you want to invest money that you can afford to lose, and this is maybe a good investment for you. Let's take a look at TFuel as well. 35 cents. Like I said, a very, very good price point for this one as well. I think TFuel is going to be one of a little bit more risky on the risky side, but you definitely have potential for more, more gains, or I'd say like a 5-6x at least coming up in the couple years. So we'll see what happens with that. As Theta, Theta has a chance for 5 to 6x as well. But like I said, TFuel could actually do much more than that. We'll talk about the actual price predictions here in a second. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but I did want to talk about how the reasoning why we're doing another Theta TFuel video. It's just because this is a price point you literally won't see in May, and that's my opinion personally. But we'll definitely monitor it in May and obviously in the rest of April and see if that actually comes true. So enterprise validator nodes, Google, Sunny, Samsung, Binance, Blockchain, and Gumi. If we go down a little bit, they do talk more about their World Poker Tour. You can click on that article if you want to read more about it. They talk about the live video streaming of today. They talk about the poor quality skyrocketing data needs, centralized and inefficient system. They talk a little bit more down here on the solution. Viewers earn rewards as THETA fuel, higher quality, smoother video streaming, and reduced cost of delivering video streams. They also talk more about the open source platform, including esports, VR content, broadcasting and entertainment, music, movies, and media, then the distance learning, enterprise conferencing, and peer-to-peer streaming. So the open source network and protocol, decentralized DApps, and multiple content verticals from esports, music, TV, and movies to distance learning and peer-to-peer live streaming power the next generation entertainment. It's a very, very cool concept. If you actually want to learn more about it, I do suggest going to thetatoken.org and taking a look at the solution. So the solution graphic on its own looks massive. So you sell THETA fuel to the exchange. Obviously, a lot of there's so much going on. I'm not going to try to explain it, but it's a very, very cool graphic. It explains exactly what they're doing, where THETA fuel comes into play, how the network all works as together as a whole, and as a I'm trying to think of a great wording for this, kind of works all together in a very, very cool way. So I think it's just going to be a massive, massive success as we get farther into these upcoming months and we get closer to the actual mainnet the mainnet launch, I guess. So let's go back to the top as I can struggle a little bit to talk here for a second. So THETA mainnet 3.0, obviously that launch is going to be massive, and a lot of people are going to start buying, I would say, in a couple weeks to month. They're not going to want to miss out on it. They're going to get in a little early. Obviously, a lot of people knew that they could dump their coins out and use them elsewhere for a little bit and then come back to THETA when it gets a little bit closer to the time. But it's one of those coins that I don't want to miss out on at all, and I believe in so much of it, I would rather just keep my money there. So I have, a small bag on THETA right now. I have a small bag on TFuel, and I will continue to keep those bags because this is one of those times and opportunities that you don't get too often where you have a pretty much guaranteed increase, in my opinion. Obviously, remember guys, nothing's guaranteed in cryptocurrency, so always do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, et cetera, et cetera. So TFuel itself, obviously massive potential. We'll talk now about the price predictions for April, May in 2021. So obviously April, I don't think we're going to have huge, massive increases, but I do think THETA will be right around that $13 to $15 mark by the end of April, hopefully. I think that's definitely a very reasonable possibility. And remember, guys, I also like to stay conservative and reasonable and realistic when doing price predictions. $13 to $15 for THETA is my prediction. Going to TFuel, I do think we will hit around 45 to 55 cents as our TFuel continues to increase in price. Obviously, like I said, we looked back at that March 13th mark. We were at 38 cents, and now we're at 35. That just doesn't really add up. So we'll continue to watch this one. Obviously, it was overvalued here at that March 23rd, but I think we will get back to that 54, 55 cents, like I said, maybe by the end of April, but definitely by the end of May, in my opinion. So jumping into the end of May, I do think THETA is going to continue to rise, and because of that, we're going to see a $18 to $20 THETA by the end of May as well. We're going to see the TFuel itself make moves, and I think we're going to see it right around 75 to 80 cents. Going into the end of the year, really, we're going to continue to see these increase together, I would assume. These are both coins, like I said, that have massive potential. Something really wrong would have to happen, but with all these new releases, even with, them showing that NFTs are in the works for, if we go down to the news, for the World Poker Tour, they're all over the place. I think they're going to continue to do big things. They really are the next generation video delivery powered by us, and I believe it's going to be massive. I'm excited to see what happens. I think THETA by the end of the year could easily push that $80 to $85 mark. I still continue to believe that's about where we'll see it in a stable spot around the 80, maybe $75 to $80 mark, but an all-time high around 85 to 90. I think that's definitely a reasonable prediction. As we go to THETA or TFuel itself, I do think TFuel will be right around $3 to $4 potentially. Obviously, giving you guys a very good potential increase there as well. So I do think there's massive potential in both these coins, and that's why we continue to cover them. Definitely when we see either a price rocket or a price decrease, and we're seeing a massive price decrease right now at $11.97. I don't think, it'll stay below $12 too long. And if it does, I mean, I'm happy with that because we're going to be able to jump in for free. Not free, obviously, but we're going to be able to jump in at that low entry point and really reap the benefits by sticking with it. I think Theta, like I said, is going to be massive. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on it. If you guys enjoy Theta or TFuel, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on to be notified every time I make a new video, and like the video. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys all in the next one.